What you should do is, and as a parent, I think what you should do is actually maybe read all of the papers about Tavistock and what they have actually done to children. And
I would recommend reading from actual trans people, and I would recommend reading from Penny. If you're
actually, Penny is part of the problem from Tavistock. They were sending children. If you know about Penny, you should know about Tavistock.
So I would really recommend you actually reading trans people's points of view. I know you're not going to because you don't actually give a fuck about any of this.
Sorry,
you're only here because you're trying to actually.
I'm just passing by.
And you're defending this man who's here to spread hate.
I'm not defending anybody. I actually think that everybody has a right to an opinion, and just because you voice an opinion,
do you have a right to an opinion? You don't have a right to inflict those opinions to create these horrible narratives around people who are some of the most marginalized in our society. You're just furthering their marginalization.
But do you not think that kind of children, especially very young children, that are put on puberty blockers were only ever meant for a medical reason, and they come with a health warning of 6 months. And usually what happens then when they're on precocious puberty for very young children, and when they go into precocious from a medical point of view, they came with a health warning 6 months max. 6 months, and that's from the Medical Association. And now you have children that are on puberty blockers for a very long time, then they're put on cross-sex hormones, and then quite a lot of the reports, and these are actual peer-reviewed reports that have come out to say that the children, when they actually go through puberty, if they're left alone, they actually discover for themselves at the end of it all that maybe I was right not to, maybe my parents were right not to put me onto any puberty blockers, because I've actually discovered that I'm either on the autism spectrum.
That's ableist in itself to assume that somebody, because they're autistic, isn't actually trans.
I might be just a gay person. I might have just been gay.
Those aren't mutually exclusive. So many people can be gay and trans. Obviously.
Is that a medical condition?
Yeah, there isn't anything medical about this. It's about gender and identity and sexuality.
Medicalizing children.
It's not medicalizing children for them to be able to identify as a gender. A gender is a social construct at the end of the day.
Gender is not a sex. Gender is, as you call it, a spectrum on your perspective.
But it's not related to sexuality. It's an absolute misnomer to kind of assume that they're connected. They're connected in certain ways. That doesn't mean that somebody can be gay and somebody can be trans.
Children who are put on puberty blockers and then have medical procedures, and then to normalise saying things like top surgery or bottom surgery. That is just actually, if you understand, if a woman has had to have a mastectomy, it's not called top surgery. And then, do you believe in?
It's not called that because that's not.
Would you defend people that actually have to flee countries for FGM?
That's not the same thing. You can't, just because two things are related tangentially doesn't mean that they're the same thing.
Mutilation?
No, absolutely not. If you consent to something, it's not mutilation.
Do you think that women in African countries consent?
No, because that's different. That's a matter of coercion. Nobody's being coerced into top surgery.
Do you not think that a child then doesn't know their own being?
No, and also I think that the idea of protecting the children in this context completely misses the fact that number one, trans children are being victimized, but also trans people in general. And when we focus on children so much, we only do that because of the social panic of it. The children have always been weaponized as a way to stop social progress.
I have children and I have
Great
grandchildren.
for you. I know a lot of trans people have children. I know trans children.
No, I'm not trans.
What I'm saying is that you having children doesn't give you a monopoly on trans
It gives me a right as a parent to protect them.
And I have every right to want to protect my trans friends. I have a right to want to protect the children in my life who might want to.
Everybody should be protected, and I do not believe in violence against anybody under any circumstances.
But that's what this supports. You have to understand.
This is a gentleman.
No, this is the gateway to looking at all these issues by using puberty blockers, which is one of the aspects that some people get just off the bat, scared of because it sounds scary.
Do you know any child, any young child that was put on puberty blockers from a very young age?
No, I don't.
But then you need to maybe research it.
No, because I don't personally know, and I'm not friends with any, but I do know kids.
You know loads of people.
Yes.
So if you're going to claim that you actually have knowledge, you need to read on both sides of it. Like, I've read both sides of the spectrum.
Okay, but also can I say that this idea that you need to form your own opinion on it. What I can do is actually listen to the people being marginalized. I can listen to the people whose human rights are being impacted.
Listen to the parents then of children that...
No, because it's not the parent. It's not the parents' choice.
When you were a child, did you dress up in different forms?
I was able to do whatever I
Yeah,
wanted.
so were my children.
Yes.
But like, say for instance, my son used to dress up as Spider-Man and Darth Vader. And sometimes, the odd times, boys do throw on an old skirt or two. But I didn't affirm him as Spider-Man. I kind of...
Yes, because nobody. Sorry, are you saying that to be trans is to
No,
dress
what I'm
up in
trying
somebody
to
else's
actually say
clothes?
to you is that children have great imaginations.
Oh, it's a great
And
question though here. What does it mean to be trans?
To be trans is to be the gender that you are.
What does that mean?
So gender is a social construct. So whichever gender that you identify with, or if you don't identify with the gender at all, that's fine too. Except that just being able to identify with whatever you feel comfortable.
So
with.
what's gender? What is that?
It's a social construct.
No, that's not a definition. What is it though?
No, that is.
What is it that makes you a boy?
That's a great question. That's what we philosophically have been trying to figure out for ages, because the fact that we were put in these.
So you're very expert in all of this. So perhaps you can tell me what it is that makes one a boy.
Well, I don't really think that there is a specific thing. I think it's about how you feel.
But do you not
Some
think
people feel like a
biology
woman,
plays
some people
part?
feel like a man, some people feel like neither.
So-
I don't actually.
so our
want to
biological
engage this
sex is just a
conversation
feeling
anymore.
now?
It's a waste of time. I came over here because I'm disgusted by this, and I think that you should be ashamed of yourself.
So do you get ashamed about everything that you see on the street?
What? No, I get ashamed of people who are spouting hate speech.
But you
That's
just,
what I get ashamed
you
of.
told me a minute
Because
ago.
trans rights are human rights,
Yeah.
and we need to actually treat them as
Well,
such.
you know
we
what?
need to treat the issue of attacking trans people as a humanitarian issue, and by having you on the street spouting shit like this, it just normalizes transphobia, and it pushes people who are already marginalized into further oppression, and you should be absolutely ashamed of yourself.
you not think
I'm
that
shocked that
actually-
you've been able to stay there this
You
whole time
actually
without
came over
people
here and
fucking
said
yelling
that
at you
you-
the whole time.
Well,
And
everyone
this is
agrees
fucking wrong.
because we shouldn't sterilize kids, right? Bye now. You did fantastic.
I don't think it's fair. I have children that are in their 30s, and my youngest is 30, and they're not. They actually know what biology is. I've never pushed any of my opinions on them, but my job was to protect them. And if they dress up as something other than when they're a child, yes, you let them dress up, but you don't actually. If a little boy puts on a skirt, you don't say you're a girl. Because I would actually hazard a guess that most people who have had older sisters at some stage when they were little drew on a skirt. That does not make them a girl. And I think if a parent turns around and said, my child is a girl, that's the parent pushing the agenda, not the child.
Yeah.
Like, most children don't even know from the age of 2 that they're 2. They don't even know, you know,
course.
they don't know what they are.
I
you know,
have
but-
girls, I understand.
yeah, but they kind of do, you know, and I just feel that what I'm feeling around places is an awful lot of negativity if you have an opinion on something. And from this side of the spectrum, I think there isn't any marginalised people. That nobody is out there shoving any adult that chooses to do what they choose to do. But when it comes to children,
Yeah.
I think
You
there's an
see,
agenda.
at the end there, when she left, it's because I asked her, so what does it mean for a girl to be a boy? And as soon as they start to think about this at all, well, they realize there's nothing to this. They can't answer it. And it makes them feel uncomfortable.
It's nearly
So then
like
they
because,
bounce.
and I nearly hazard a guess that they're in college, and if there's
It's all
really
this
like a
misplaced
contagion.
empathy, right?
Yeah, and whereas college used to be a place where people used to be able to express and go in there and debate. It's like as if debate has died,
Yeah.
and nobody's allowed to say anything because everything is construed as being negative, and you're just trying to say exactly what the facts are, and. It's just like that girl, you know, she knew about Tenny, or she knew the name Tenny, but she didn't know
That's
that
it.
Tenny was attached to sending children to Tavistock.
Yeah. You can't have an intelligent conversation about this in the UK or Ireland and not know about the Tavistock.
Yeah.
I mean, they know nothing about this.
Yeah.
All they've heard is that trans people are under attack, and they're just trying to be who they really are, and that's the extent of their knowledge. They never think past that.
And, you
So
know,
by asking them questions, you get them thinking, and you're never going to reach like someone like that on the street.
you might find
But-
in 5-10 years' time, she'll have
Yeah.
forgotten this conversation, and like lots of people, they
Well,
grow up.
what she'll remember from this for sure is that you were reasonable, and you were patient, and you know what you're talking about. And I think she realizes already that she's missing a whole lot of information about this. So maybe she'll start reading
But
something.
I think